resolve. So we put that behind us now, the issue of your dismissal. The Honorable Committee is aware of the fact that you're unhappy about your dismissal. You've challenged it, but as things stand, as we sit here today, your dismissal, both procedurally and substantively, has been upheld by the courts. And yes, you've challenged it, but to the extent that you now argue or contend in your affidavit that you've been what you call unlawfully dismissed, that has been dismissed by the courts. Can you at least accept that?
What must I accept?
That your complaints and your case against your dismissal has been dismissed in arbitration and by the courts up to now.
The question, and I know I'm here to answer questions. The question is, why do you put that to me while it is part of my affidavit? And that's exactly what I'm saying. I have outlined a process which allows you and the honorable members to have background to that. And I emphasize, I am not here for that. This is a matter ventilated elsewhere. This is a matter that belongs elsewhere. This was by way of background. Where am I? What is happening? Somewhere you started by asking me, where are you working? And I'm saying, I'm working in my garden. I'm at home. Now I'm giving you background. Why am I in my garden? Because I was unlawfully dealt with, and the matter is at the Labor Appeals Court. Let's make peace with that. That's where it is, and go into the issues that need to be dealt with. Part of what I'm saying there, I'm also showing you, giving you even why why I'm even going to an extent of talking the unlawfulness and people in authority who disobeys the laws. I'm giving even annexures. I gave you documents to that effect. But for the sake of progress, I've never came here to say I'm still employed. No, I'm in the Labor Appeals Court. We're waiting for a judgment. So we can move on.
Thank you. Now, one of the big issues that came up in the expeditious hearing and subsequently in the arbitration was the tender relating to the 360 by 180 degree cameras.
Where in my affidavit are you, Council?
Don't you deal with the Itemba tender? You deal with it in your affidavit.
Yeah, but
it's very much at the heart
really
of your complaint.
Okay, for me not to be lost, because now one moment we are moving away from the dismissal and so on. Now you go back, because that's part of the reason why this matter is before the Labor Appeals Court. I thought that we have agreed. If we have to deal with the tender,
General Phahlane, let's do like this. The statement that the witness has deposited with us is numbered in paragraphs, isn't it?
Page 18.
I think that is the approach that we must take. If we are on page 18, let's go to that page in the specific paragraph.
Yeah, it's item capital letter E on page 18. General Phahlane deals with the procurement contract bid 19/1/9/1/187, that the supply and delivery of the 360 by 180 panoramic image capturing system.
Did you get that page, General?
I'm there, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Let's proceed.
And General Phahlane, you and I had agreed that these court process, arbitration processes, that's now where they are, and it's subject to the Labour Appeal Court now also sitting and considering your application to appeal. But in relation to the merits of the case, that's where I'm moving towards now. The merits of the case, the matter is dealt with fully, not perhaps to your satisfaction, but dealt with fully in the arbitration award, which deals with, amongst other, this particular tender. Do you want me to take you to the relevant passages, or do you accept that this Itemba FDA issue was dealt with in the arbitration award?
No, Honorable Chair, I'm not going to accept that approach. I'm not going to accept to be taken through an arbitration document while I'm contextualizing that issue. Here in my affidavit, it's 8E, paragraph E, and we are from 44 going forward. So we can deal with what I am saying in relation to that. If you want to go and refer to some aspects of the arbitration, because we are saying it here, I'm not going to repeat the arbitration, which we have extensive legal documents before the courts on it, and I'm saying I'm waiting for the outcome thereof. So, to be fair, Chair, I must be spoken to on my affidavit. The issue that the council is trying to talk to is traversed from page 44 of my affidavit, and it goes on. Sorry, paragraph E, paragraph 44. I talk to it not selectively.
Can we understand this? Advocate Adams and General Phahlane. General Phahlane,
Chair.
you say that the matters on which you are being questioned are still before the court.
Yeah.
So you are essentially saying to us that the what do you call it, the award of the arbitration award has been appealed.
Yes.
And that the judgment of the Labour Court as well,
Yes,
has been appealed. And now we are awaiting the judgment of the Labour Appeals Court.
yes.
And you argue that it may be unfair to ask you questions on matters that are still lis pendens, that we must wait for the judgment of the Appeals Court.
No, am I allowed, Chair? No, that's not what I'm saying. Because I have spoken to the issue myself in the affidavit. It is here, paragraph E, from page 44 until page 81. What I've got an issue with is that now I must go through the arbitration award, which I did not even bring here. It is council and them who went to go and fetch it from wherever they fetched it. So because it's something that I've dealt with extensively, challenging that arbitration award, challenging the Labour Court review award or judgment, and the same matter is now where it's pending before the Labour Appeals Court. So all what I'm saying is that don't go and take the pieces of the applications that we are lying there. I have spoken in detail. Now the council was talking about the procurement contract of the what is it? The 360. Here it is. So why must I go and look at a document which the reason why I'm challenging it is because I don't agree with what the arbitrator wrote there. Now I must now go and argue with council on something as if I'm before the very same arbitrator. I'm saying, let's talk to it. But here is my affidavit. It's talking to the
You
issue.
say that those matters are on appeal.
Yes.
Yes, that is the point that we wanted to get, that
Yeah.
those matters are on appeal. So we may ask you questions from a wrong premise or from wrong assumptions, because we don't know what the decision of the appeals court may be.
Mm.
If the appeals court comes and upholds your application,
Yeah.
we might have made wrong conclusions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So General Phahlane, I was referencing the arbitration award, and I would also reference the Labour Court judgment, only for the purposes that the issue that you raise on page 18 under item E relating to the panoramic system, that issue was dealt with in the arbitration. Witnesses were called. You were entitled to cross-examine those witnesses. You yourself led evidence. You then took that award on review to the Labour Court. The Labour Court also applied its mind to those issues. That is all that I'm trying to establish in response to your narrative, which appears from page 18 on the procurement, on that very same procurement contract, and which runs for a number of pages in your affidavit through to page 32, paragraph 81. That's all that I tried to do. I didn't try to argue with you. I didn't try, and I'm certainly not trying to persuade this honorable committee that you are wrong and that the arbitrator and the Labour Court was right. All I'm trying to say, General Phahlane, or trying to demonstrate rather, is that these issues have been ventilated in what all of us regard or hope to regard as independent forums, legal forums, where you have already given your side of the story, your version. So, having said that, this is your affidavit. We've agreed you're not going to be rushed. What is it now under this item E that you want to elaborate upon or to convey to the honorable committee?
You see, Chair, I refuse to accept what counsel is saying. And I refuse because that's exactly the kind of narrative that has been peddled in the public domain. And I can't, in a paragraph, try and sum up the injustice that I have suffered and the narrative that has been there. Even witnesses in this, before this committee, I was listening to them. They were talking to this 24 million irregularity. I recall, I think it's honorable, but I think it was coming from some members, where they were questioning the submission to the AG to say, can you clarify us on this? That has got a lot to do with this. Facts were misrepresented before the AG, and I cannot just go over this thing. And I took note of what Honorable Malema said earlier. Why the thinking that we are going to be rushing through. And Honorable Malema, unfortunately, this is what I'm being subjected to. Look at what I'm doing in terms of that procurement, because somebody went to pay 24 million plus interest to a service provider who did not even deliver a single camera to the police. That happens in 2018, 2019, while I'm sitting at home since 2017, the 1st of June. And that is being attributed to me. That is what I'm dismissed for. To say you have allowed a service provider to take 24 million plus interest, which became 31 million. That decision gets taken in 2018, 2019. I'm giving you here even proof of who signed for that thing. And now I must, in a paragraph, sit here and say, Honorable Chair, I agree with the narrative. I'm not going to agree with it. And if we are to do justice, let's traverse this issue on paragraph E on the panoramic camera. It's not as small. The very same arbitrator that you are referring to misunderstood what is at play here. There was a contract signed. This contract was signed in 2014, 28th of July.
Yes, when you were the head of the forensics division.
Yes. So
That
let's
is
take
why it's
members
relevant.
into confidence in as far as what this happened and not just narrowly go to this narrative that has been hating to listen from people who are so uninformed.
I was trying to be of assistance because that's exactly what the arbitrator does.
No,
The
that
nar-
arbitrator
the narra-
misunderstood.
Sorry,
No, wait. Can you take a breath, both of you? I want us to do the following. The General Phahlane has accepted here before the committee that there are unsuccessful bids that he made to overturn the arbitration award. And then the last is the judgment that is awaited from the appeals court. If the matters that you are leading now, Advocate Arendse, are matters that are before the court, sitting here ourselves may not make an assessment or a review of the proceedings in a court of law. And I will want us to move to matters that pertain to our terms of reference. Unless if in those matters there is something that the witness wants to bring before this committee. To say, in terms of the 4 pillars that you have read before me, Chairperson of the committee, that you are investigating, there are the following matters that I want to bring to your attention, and I think they will help the committee to move forward. But I'm reluctant that we should confine ourselves to matters that are now before the court or take much of our time dealing with matters that are judgments or the arbitration award contained in the arbitration award or judgment of the labor court. Because both of you agree that those matters now are on appeal. So I will give you an opportunity. If there is any matter that you think you want to bring to the attention of the committee, which is not a matter before the court as we speak now, let's deal with those matters and allow the committee to move forward. Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, it's a clarity because I want to be on the same page with you. In fact, I was tempted to ask a question when the general raised a concern regarding some questions that are posed to him. Now, Chair, the question is, because my understanding is that to a greater extent, the senior counsel has asked questions in relation to matters deposed on the affidavit. For instance, the 360 tender or contract is deposed on the affidavit by the general. So it's not something which is outside and which is now an ambush. And my understanding is that 80% of issues raised on the affidavit are issues which are before court, the contract, because most of those issues influenced dismissal of the general. Now, the ruling that you are giving, Chair, is confusing, really. I'm confused. So how do we identify matters that he should ask and matters that he should not ask? Whereas those matters, all of them, are on the affidavit and were voluntarily put on the affidavit by the general himself. So I'm confused. I just need clarity. I'm not arguing with your ruling. I just want to be on the same page, because we will ask questions after the senior counsel. And when we ask questions, we must comply with the ruling that you have made as the chairperson. So that's where my confusion is.
Okay. Not just to clarify that matter, because it is said by the witness here that the questions that the advocate is asking him are questions that emanate from matters that are now on appeal. That is what you are saying, General.
No, Chair. My discomfort was with counsel going to arbitration awards, wanting me to answer on an arbitration award, which is an issue that we are dealing with. So that's why I'm lost. The document that he's giving me, he's reading from, that arbitration award, even the labor court award, they gave it to me here in the
It's
morning.
fine. The arbitration award is under appeal.
It's under appeal, but I don't have an issue in dealing with for example, what led to that. But I've got a problem if I must now write an exam on an arbitration award, which I don't even agree with.
You listen to what Honorable Nombalo says. The statements that are contained in your affidavit,
Yeah.
you are ready to respond to them.
Yes.
Okay. Honorable Skosan.
Thank you, Chair. Lotshani likupi, General Phahlane?
Ngiyaxolisa. I'm here. And ngiyabonga.
Lotshani likupi,
Asikhona njani.
siyathokoza.
Thokozini.
Now, Chair, I think what the General is raising is the issue. In fact, I'm going to ask about what I heard now. He said he was given a statement this morning. It's the other one, which it was for the first time you see that statement. That bundle.
Yeah.
You only saw it this morning.
Okay. Must I answer, Chair?
I just wanted to find out, because if I heard it well, he said that he only saw this morning. Am I right?
You can respond, General.
Chair, the documents in here are not foreign to me, but these documents are not part of my submission in terms of annexures, because I have accepted that here I am not in the labor court, or I'm not in the labor appeals court. It has been dealt with there. So what counsel is doing, he brought these copies, like this is somewhere here, there is records of proceedings. And somewhere I said earlier that unfortunately some of these are half-baked, in that some documents that are supposed to be here, if we want to bring the whole records, bring the whole records and not selective. So I'm now being questioned to say, the arbitrator said this. I say, we have moved on from what the arbitrator said. We have accepted the laws following the arbitration process. We have accepted the laws following the labor appeal, the labor court. But we are now waiting for a labor appeals court judgment. So why must I go into this. The issues, Chair, they are raised. It's me who raised it. Maybe, let me say, I may have instigated them. That's why they are part of my affidavit. That's why they are comprehensively addressed. So I don't understand why must I go and read an arbitrator's document that I don't necessarily agree with. If we want to have an understanding of what happened, here it is on paragraph, what is it, E. It's well captured between E. If you disagree with it, disagree with it. But it captures. Now I must go in, but the arbitrator said this, or an acting judge said this. I hold a view on those people. And that's why I don't agree, Chair. I'm not saying we must not. We must deal with the issue. Because, for example, the 360 camera issue, the 24 million, it's very critical. It's being brushed over. Every time an issue is being asked, even from management, they say, no, but he was dismissed. Dismissed for what? If I'm to be dismissed for 24 million, it's not me. That decision gets taken in 2018, 2019 by a sitting national commissioner who decided to settle with a service provider who laid their hands on 24 million, that became 31 million. That man left the country with that money, unfortunately died. But now they say, Phahlane approved this. How do I approve something in 2019 while I'm sitting at home? The last day I was in a police office was when I left, before I left Parliament. But this is the issue. So I don't understand why we should escape it. Why must we go to a bargaining council thing, which is not talking to the real issue? The same issue is sitting before the Portfolio Committee on Police. I was listening to them, listening to material irregularity. When that issue is being raised by management, no, but the person who was responsible has been dismissed. I listened even when you were at Khoshimampuru, the CFO said so, to say, no, that matter has been dealt with. Whereas the merits are being misrepresented, the facts are being misrepresented. I hope I'm clear, Chair.
It's now 13 hours. We are going to come back here at 14 hours. I want to allow yourselves time. I see you have your legal team here. The evidence leader is with his team. When we come back from lunch, you must be able to help us to move forward in a quicker pace. You had time to consult. When we started here, Matebele, you said to us that it was a marathon of consultations. And I may even need some time to rest. And that's why you requested that at least by 20 hours or 21 hours tonight, if we can allow you that time to rest. So when we come back from lunch, we want to see proof that indeed there has been consultations between you. Can we do it that way? Yeah, and I must say that it rarely happens that in our proceedings, we have this kind of altercation. We always have a smooth running of evidence presentation between the evidence leader and witnesses. So I think the committee has been very patient with yourselves. So when we come back at 14 hours, let's make sure that where you have been missing each other, you would have corrected that and help us to move forward. Thank you.